there are many things in this world that are unbelievably annoying. Somewhere near the top of that list in terms of podcast production would be phones going off, cell phones, mobile phones, whatever you want to call them. Just turn them off. They're annoying, but we can get rid of them using iZotope RX, as we can do many millions of things. I'm going to show you how to do it because it's pretty simple, really, using two tools. One is like a broad stroke thing. The other is a little bit more nitty gritty if you need it. Let's take a look, shall we? So here is the bit in question. It's actually this bit just here, but just for a bit of context, let's take a listen.
Loss reviews, and loss reviews certainly fail, and they go out of style when
bing bong. All right, so here's how we do it. I've gone into a bit of detail on using RX with podcasts in a previous video, which I'm going to put up the top now, maybe in the description, don't know, see how I feel. But there's a simple way that you can essentially just chop this particular piece of audio out, because a podcast may be an hour long. You don't want to put that whole audio file into RX. It's a pain. So in Logic Pro, we select it. We can press Control and T. No, we don't. We press Command and T. Well done, Sam. And then we can convert it to a new audio file. Hit enter. So that means that it's just going to convert that one piece to a new audio file. Then open it up in my external editor by pressing Shift and W. Again, this is all in the podcast video in Logic Pro and RX. If you don't use Logic Pro, just ignore it. Here it is. This is our piece of audio, which is now in iZotope RX, my favorite RX. Just going to make it so you can see the waveform a bit better. You can see these little bits of phone ring. Boing, boing, boing. And you can hear them as well.
And they go out of style.
One more time.
And they go out of style.
Okay. The first thing I want to do is, it's not really cheating, but it's using the tools that we have to our advantage. And the first tool that I always go to with this kind of stuff is Dialogue Isolate. Why? Because it's fantastic. It just does exactly what it says on the tin. It's trained to just listen to dialogue. It knows what dialogue sounds like, and it knows that that's what you want to hear. So let's go to Dialogue Isolate. This is my kind of standard setting for really anything. Feel free to steal these settings. We don't really need to worry about reverb. It's noise that we're concerned about, but just in the event of just keeping it like this, I'm going to leave it like that. We're going to hit render, and what we're going to see is all this stuff kind of in between the voice. So this stuff around here, that's going to come down considerably, and these little bits are also going to come down considerably. Perhaps not completely though. Let's hit render and see what it does. Aha. Let's take a listen to it now.
And they go out of style.
Okay, how it was before.
And they go out of style.
Pretty good. How it is now.
And they go out of style.
We can hear a little bit of it though. And this is the thing. With phone rings, they're kind of tonal, obviously, which can sometimes be misinterpreted for a voice. And I get it, that's just one of those things. But RX is not really meant to be just like a click a button and hey presto, it's done. You're meant to know about all the tools. You're meant to be able to get into the nitty gritty. So we're actually just going to go a little bit further with this and use another tool which I really like, Instant Process Attenuate. Now, I believe this is actually kind of drawing upon the spectral repair. So when you process this, it's actually doing spectral repair. I like to bring up the brush, and you can see it's a little bit small at the moment. So I'm just going to hold over onto the brush, quick tip, and then you can change the brush size. Let's go a weeny bit bigger. Okay, so we can see how my brush size is now about the same size as the bing bongs, and you can see it's just here. Now, the smart person would go into the, what they called like the harmonics of this and select that. It's only like 2 tones here, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. Attenuate is on. I'm just going to draw over them and watch what happens. They just come down very slightly. Now, if that isn't enough for you, what you can do is go into gain. We're just going to draw onto the gain module, and -9 tends to be where I keep it. If we just go onto it there and just bring them down even more, couple of brush strokes. I tend to like to do more brush strokes as opposed to one that's like really crazy accentuated. It's better to do it's better to do more processes and not very much each time than it is one crazy big process. That's just the way that I've found it kind of works better. If we go over these ones as well, remember, these are just very specific frequencies that we're kind of getting rid of here. So we're having to go over them a couple of times just to completely remove them. And then these ones were kind of the really obvious ones, weren't they? And you can just see how they just go. Now, have we got rid of all of them? Who knows? Let's find out. Let's take a listen to it now.
And they go out of style. And they go out of style.
Maybe a little bit of something in here. So gain isn't going to work as well here. I'm going to go for attenuate because with the brush tool, we can just kind of extend it across there a little bit, and it's not going to detract from the voice too much. Hopefully not, anyway. Let's see what it sounds like.
And they go out of style.
Nice.
And they go out of style.
Okay, let's listen to it in the original instance.
And they go out of style.
And then how it sounds now.
And they go out of style.
Cool, and you can see in the graphical display as well, that was before. You can look at them all here, look, they're all crazy loud, and then when you get rid of them, it just brings them down. So we can then overwrite this, and the way to overwrite a file in RX is Command, Alt or Option and S, and then bring it back into Logic, and you can see it just there.
Loss reviews, and loss reviews certainly fail, and they go out of style when...
And it's gone. Really easy way of doing it. Just using two tools. Dialogue Isolate does, I would say, the lion's share of the work. And then just brushing over with Spectral Repair is fantastic. Or if you want to get a bit more, I don't know, a bit more kind of black and white about it, you can use Gain. It's really important that you're not just applying one stroke nuclear style, you know, you're not just going absolutely crazy, because on RX, what I could have done is we could have gone back to its initial state. We could have just gone Dialogue Isolate, right, don't worry about reverb. Let's just bring noise right down to 0. And if we hit render then, it might work. I don't know. It might do really well.
And they go out of style.
See, it's not actually got rid of them anymore, and it's kind of taken away from the voice a little bit. It doesn't sound quite as...
And they go out of style.
It's taken away a little bit of the human element of the voice. And that's the thing. I don't think that these parameters were ever kind of intended to go all the way down to infinity. They just kind of have to, because that's where the scale ends. I find it's always better to go a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit more, and then you reach a goal, as opposed to loads and loads of processing in one stroke and it's all gone. So I hope that's helpful for you. And if you want some more iZotope RX content, please do let me know, because I work with it a lot and it's fun. It's cool. Learning more stuff every single day, as I'm hoping that you guys are. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Take care.